Today I'm gonna talk about Eddie Adams, Young E, Zoid. Eddie Adams is the roughest human being I ever met in my life. I never seen someone more rough with two hands than Eddie Adams. Man, I done seen Eddie Adams run in the crowds, boom, 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 before anybody from Belmont even got a chance to go over there. Eddie Adams lead that crowd, and you see six motherfuckers laid out snoring. And Eddie, boy, you see the boulders I hit that boy with? That's how Eddie was, real aggressive motherfucker. And he was a gangster, but he was a gentleman. He wasn't a bully at all. You know, there's a lot of times I wanted Eddie to whoop somebody's ass, but he was sparing them when I thought they should have got an ass whooping. And so, but I knew Eddie before he came on Belmont. I knew Eddie from Pickett Elementary. Him and his brother Tone. We didn't even call him Tone then. That nigga was Anthony. Eddie and Anthony, the two badass kids at Pickett. They was fly as hell. They had the Jordans and all that shit, and they both had asthma. Always with the asthma pump. I think Eddie had it worse than Tone. I mean, that's wrong for me to say because Paulie might be like, nigga, how you gonna judge my asthma? Nigga? You know what I'm saying? But Eddie, to me, in my personal opinion, Eddie had asthma worse than Tone. And so they was always the badass kids, jumping the kids at picking and shit. So me and Eddie got real close once we got to high school. I think he was a freshman, I was a junior. We played one-on-one. I beat Eddie like 13-zip. Back then I didn't miss, ask anybody. I was like fucking Steph Curry. I didn't miss one-on-one. Hand in the face, everything. Eddie's like, boy, nigga, you really don't miss. How you ain't playing? Because I didn't get in the game or nothing like that. Like, boy, you should be up there. Boy, you better than that time period. That's how Eddie used to talk. And so he was like, you know, but that's when we started getting close, and then we had choir class together, right? And then we used to go to Club Drop Zone, and so all of us from the South stayed together, Belmont, Hamilton Park, we always get together at the Drop Zone. It was a teen club and shit, and so when, we wait on our hype son, go out, motherfucker wait to go, we stayed until out hill. And so I remember Eddie first knockout, it was a big dude named Tim, about 6'6". He ended up being a professional boxer. Boy, Eddie knocked him out with a two-piece, boom, boom, and was surprised. Boy, Tim went to sleep, and Eddie's whole life changed right there. Eddie knew he could knock out big boys with a 1-2. So Eddie, he blamed me for ruining his life. You know, we in choir class, I did something, and Al tell everybody in the back, shut up, because I was back there rapping and shit. And, Eddie used to love hearing me rap. Like, man, tell them stories. Boy, I used to be rapping all that shit. And Eddie like, tuned in and shit, And so Al, Mr. Al, he was the choir teacher. All the bad kids was in choir for some reason. Me, Eddie, Tone, Tommy Evans, everybody you could think about. Motherfucking, Terrell West, nigga was in Libby about 8 years. He was in that bitch, nigga about 23, full beer and everything. And so Al started cussing, cussing us out, trying to show off for the young chicks and shit. Eddie's like, boy, nigga, who you talking to, nigga? You a PI, a working man as a sucker, you a teacher, you're broke. And so we like, what the fuck is it? Mr. Al like, where is this go for? Boy, you been hating on me, boy. That's what Young E saying. Nigga, my dad said a working man is a sucker. And so look, so we like he trying to rush Al, nigga, we cried Eddie and shit, you know what I'm saying? Man, Eddie, they got kicked out of Libby for that shit. And so he ended up going to Scott. Now Scott had a superstar by the name of Jeremy King. Now I've been knowing Jeremy King since I went to Robinson. Y'all might know Jeremy King is the basketball player and a good guy, man. Jeremy King was a blood who would beat the fuck out of you back then. So I guess him and Eddie, back in the day, that Scott Libby shit was like gang shit. Nigga, you go throw them L's up and shit at Scott, nigga, they ready to jump you. Nigga, and the Scott motherfucker throw that L down, you can call some bulldog shit on Southside. Nigga, we whooping you, snatching that shit off, nigga, this Libby, nigga. That shit was like Ohio State, Michigan, for real. That shit was like Bloods and Crips, Scott and Libby, because it did represent gangs. Nigga, Scott represented Bloods and we represented, you know what I'm saying, the dirty South. And so it was real, nigga. That Scott Libby shit was real, nigga. Every game, niggas fighting, shooting at them Scott Libby games. They couldn't even hold them at Scott Libby no more. They had to hold them at UT. And Eddie went over there with the Libby shit, nigga. And Jeremy King, I think, smacked him. They said Young E to hit him, and a fight broke out. Now, them two bulls, people who love Young E say he whooped Jeremy. People who love Jeremy say he whooped Young E. But I don't know. Them is two rough motherfuckers. And I know when them boys collage, nigga, sparks flying. But anyway, Young E get kicked out of Scott. And so I guess his dad kicked him out. You know, you ain't going to school. Shit, you want to be grown? So Eddie find his way on Belmont. Wrong combination. Belmont is a demonic block, and we take the worst of the worst out of all the blocks on the south side. They find their way on Belmont because you might be a little too rough for where you at, and they might not be on the time you want. You find your way on Belmont. It's 20 motherfuckers on that bullshit with you. That's on every block, for real. And so Eddie found his place where all that bullshit you do is promoted, nigga, and marketed. And so Young E come on Belmont, boy, every day. We used to go to the clubs, and back then we used to stay into one of those shooting because we was like still cool with them. We used to get into it with the Scottwoods a lot. That's before they became X Block. Nigga, they was still Scottwood and East Coast Crips and all that over there. And Eddie get drunk on the bullshit. That's when he couldn't handle his liquor and shit. But as we got older, as time went by and Eddie got more mature, Eddie started getting about his bread. Eddie always said, $100,000, I'm out. Eddie was like my #1 fan on Belmont, for real. And so Eddie started making a name with himself, nigga. Every time it's a fight, Eddie, boom, boom, motherfucker going to sleep, boy. And so, like, I remember one time, we had got into it with the Out Heel. You know, it wasn't like it was a big Royal Rumble. It was like one of them was talking, and there was only 3 of them, and they thought it was like 2 motherfuckers off Belmont, not knowing the whole parking lot was from Belmont, ended up beating them down or whatever. And then on the Belmont bullshit, we riding around looking for some bullshit to get in. We on Central and Cherry. Those streets in this, it's a gas station, I want to say, on Central and Cherry. I think that's Central and Cherry. And so we ride by, we see Smoke, Jermaine Graham from Hamilton Park, a couple of they in the car punching somebody. I'm like, what the fuck? We get out, everybody jumping, they pull off. Boy, Young E, before they pull up, Young E catch knocked him up out of the car on the passenger side. So the motherfucker drive off. So everybody chasing the car for a little bit. Now this is busy streets. The car doing 50. Young E still stop. Like Young E fast. Nigga, he on their heels. Boy, we like, look at this nigga Young E. And so me, Freaky Fred, and Young E was in the car together. And so Young E had a house on Islington, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was on Islington. I'm talking about this probably about 99, 2000. And so me, Freaky Fred, man, me and Freak was like this. And so me, Freaky Fred, and Young E, we driving. We about to drop, like everybody going back to the crib. It's 3, 4 in the morning. So I'm about to drop Young E off first, and me and Freak going on the block. You know, me and Freak, we did all-nighters on the block. And so we drop Young E off, boy, me and Freak, like, we look at each other like, nigga, did you? It was so quiet, it was so silent, knowing this man just chased the car. That, boy, stop, y'all said stop. You know what I'm saying? And so, me and Freak like, boy, did you see what the fuck I was just saying? Freak said, nigga, that nigga Eddie is the truth. That bitch crazy. I'm scared of that nigga. Man, we like, man, that nigga Young E crazy, boy. But that was just Young E, man. We into it with, who? I think we was into it with the L. The L. Or Hollywood. I don't know. One of them, I don't know. I don't know. I be getting them mixed up over there. But, for the outside looking at it, we think they are the same. Like L, the Holly Rock, I think that's Fulton. I don't know. I'm from Southside. I don't be knowing different neighborhoods and shit. But we into it like they deep. I think Freddie D started something. So we like, man, like we like, wait, nigga, they super deep out there. They like put the guns down. Nigga, they only no gun, but they deep. So everybody wasn't no gun. We about to go rumble. And so while we still talking about it, gotta hype ourselves up. Cause they deep. Young E, like a cartoon, you just see smoke and shit. Like, we run up. Nigga, by the time we get there, just 7 motherfuckers laid out. Young E, like, I'm dead serious, bro. Like, man, we into another motherfucker at Club Liquid. We into it at Club Liquid. Who we into it with that night? We into it with, Tone into it with somebody. They just talking shit. They talking some money shit. Young E, boom, knock the dude out. Motherfucker run. Young E, bang. Like, I'm talking about just One hitter quitter, man. Everybody going to sleep, man. Young E did this shit every weekend, bro. Every day of my life. I got so many Young E stories. But Young E was a good dude, man. Early in my career, people ain't believing in music shit, 'cause I was like one of the first rappers for real. And so rap wasn't cool. Nobody believed in that shit. It was too far-fetched. But Young E had this Young E wasn't known as no hustler at first, but then Young E got serious about his bread and shit. So Young E had put his bread together. The nigga was so petty. I used to call him Petty Eddie. He was so cheap. The nigga would pick up dimes and quarters all day and just save money. Wouldn't spend money and shit. Then we see the homie coming from McDonald's and he gonna tell Prof, nigga only broke niggas eat fast food. Nigga, you don't spend your money on fast food. You go to the grocery store, nigga, shit last all week. Nigga, I'm saving. That's Young E. And then he go asking for dollars from everybody all day and shit. And then and go to the store. Even at Libby, he was petty though. Then before he started getting some money, Young E would beg the whole lunchroom for quarters and shit. Jamal Hannibal Duck used to do that shit too. And then they had to get like $3 to go get some nuggets and the fries, and then cough on their shit so nobody wouldn't ask for it. Young E used to do that shit, and Duck, Jamal Hannibal. But Young E walk around with $10,000 in his pocket, ask everybody for dollars. Broke motherfuckers. He asked fiends and shit for dollars and shit, boy. And so but he got the motherfucking Chevy. It's a My Block video, nigga. He did the My Block and he had the Zav Zooters, the rims that kept spinning. Young E was like the first nigga in the city with that shit. Young E was like 19, 20 when he got that, and I feel like that was my car. Cause Young E, I don't think he had license, so I drove that motherfucker. And then I was rapping, and so we'd pull up, we'd go to University of Toledo, pop the trunk, nigga, CDs all in the back, people going to run to the car, and that's how a lot of my CDs was selling early, nigga. We out of Young E car, going to Bowling Green, we going everywhere, every event, popping the trunk and the flipping Zav, nigga, selling out. Nigga, when I had my early shows and shit, me and Young E used to go half, book the motherfuckers out. We ain't had no security. Young E was one-man security. Nigga have his gloves on. Niggas knew not to play with Young E, boy. Young E will beat the fuck out of you, boy. You pull a gun out, nigga, you better use it, because Young E gonna take it from you. That's the kind of guy he was, but at the end of the day, man, he'd give you his last, man. Like, he would die for you, bro. Like, but toward, Young E got killed on his birthday. And I remember what his dad said, at the funeral. His dad said, what was the greatest day of my life, my firstborn child being born, ended up being the worst day of my life, my firstborn child getting killed. Young E died on his birthday. And then me and Young E wasn't as close because of, damn, that shit choking me up if you think about this shit. Discrepancies with another person, with my people. It was over some money shit that I don't get too much involved. I get in personal beefs. I don't get in nobody's business because I ain't making no money with either one of you niggas. And so I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. I get in personal beefs. I don't get in business beefs. I don't fall out with people over money. It ain't one person in my life who I ever fell out with over money and shit. And so, but Young E was always my favorite on Belmont, or one of my favorites, him, Freaky Fred, you know what I'm saying? And we was super close. And when he died, boy, I couldn't eat for a whole week. Damn. Because I was living in Atlanta. I had just moved to Atlanta, and so, but Young E ended up dying on his birthday. But Eddie Adams, I ain't never met a human being this rough in my life. Everything about this man just personified warrior. Like, you see this motherfucker, this nigga don't play. For real, but the man, the man was a genuine good guy, and it's a lot of time I think he should have fucked people up when he gave passes, because Belmont don't give a fuck. Man, you could kill 20 people on Belmont, niggas still try you. Man, Eddie used to knock niggas out every day, and a nigga who was scared won't throw a blow would still talk shit on the block. He still try Young E. That's just Belmont for you, because we love, it's like brothers. Like, no matter what you do, your brother ain't gonna be scared of you. Your mama ain't gonna be scared, and that's how we was on Belmont. And so that's Belmont for you. Nigga, I remember Young E, who he knock out? Young E knocked out somebody and stood up like, what did it to you? You know what I'm saying? The next day, I think it was him and Tick. Him and Tick. That Young E and Tick was like this. They was like this. Tick my guy, but Tick a bully though. Tick is a real bully though. You know what I'm saying? Tick, Young E didn't abuse his authority. He ain't abuse his strength, but Honey Bun, Tick, Fat Cat, Lil Ju used to abuse their strength for real, because they were bullies. And so, man, Tick at the time, Tick big now, but at the time, man, Tick had to be, me and Tick around the same height, so Tick had about 5'10". Tick couldn't weigh no more than 120. Young E, nigga doing push-ups, swinging everything, like big, like rough motherfucker. So Tick like, nigga, all that, like, they arguing. I forgot what they arguing about. It's some dumb shit though. Like, they arguing, and Tick like, boy, because everybody's talking like that, boy, and all this aggressive ass shit. So Tick like, boy, I don't know who you get loud with. Them lucky ass knockouts. And the nigga fell out laughing. I'm like, ain't nothing lucky about them knockouts. And Tick like, nigga, you can let them knockouts scare you, but don't scare the texture. Like, I know them knockouts lucky. Eddie like, you wanna try? Like, so like that's how the niggas who Belmont talk. Like, that shit was funny though, man. But man, long live Young E, man. Man, Young E was my dude, man. Eddie Adams, man. If you watch all my old videos, my block, he the one on my block. He got the Lamar Odom Clippers jersey. He kept flashing the money and shit. Ohio player, he the aggressive motherfuckers behind me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. Yeah, pop your collar. Pop. Like, goddamn, E, that's how Young E is, just an aggressive motherfucker, man. And so, like, you can look at the Ohio player, but I keep laughing. We in the black tee holding the camera. That's how I shot videos back in the day. I just give it to, man, hold this camera, I'm about to shoot the video. No real video person at all. Black tee, long live Black T, that's Young E cousin. And so Black T held the camera. We in the club on Belmont Junction. Back then it was called the Players, the after hour. That's when we shot a lot of Ohio player video. Young getting that bitch drunk. Ohio player. That was his shit, nigga. And Young E aggressive as fuck. I can't even get in my groove because Young E, profit, come on. And so I'm laughing. I'm trying to get away from Young E the whole time and shit. And so, man, that was my guy, man. The man believed in me so much. He believed in me more than I believed in me. And long live Young E, man. Eddie Adams.